I'm political reporter Will Keneally taking a look at a new audit tracking how much the state government is spending on diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I have your very latest First Farmers forecast, and I think you're going to like it. And also the very latest on a chance of storms come Sunday.
Food, animals, and fun here at the Alliant Energy Center. I'm Tanaja Shaw at the Midwest Horse Fair, and I'll be back with more.
And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. A highly awaited report was released today detailing just how much the state government is putting toward DEI efforts. Our political reporter Will Keneally dug through that report, and he joins us now with more. Will?
Well, Eric, this is an audit done by nonpartisan legislative auditors, ordered, though, by the Republican-controlled state legislature. Now, DEI efforts were started by an executive order from Governor Evers back in 2019. Now, that audit shows that there were no widespread standards across the universities of Wisconsin for what DEI should look like. Each campus was able to create their own program, for example. And there's also no UW-specific tracking on how much each campus spent on those DEI efforts. But state auditors looked at each campus's books and estimated that UW schools spent roughly $40 million on offices related to DEI. Think of that as resource centers that also worked on things like federal compliance for Title IX. Add to that $12.5 million for DEI salary costs and close to $8 million on DEI planning. Now, in response to this, Republicans who ordered the audit said that this amounted to race-based discrimination. One saying that today's audit, quote, shows us the extent to which DEI grifters profiteer off Wisconsin taxpayers. Now, this isn't, though, the first time Republicans have scrutinized DEI at the state level. In order to secure funds more than a year ago, the universities of Wisconsin reached an agreement with state lawmakers to freeze hiring for DEI positions.
All right, Will, thank you. Well, the NCAA is home to some 1,100 schools and 500,000 student athletes. And those athletes' name, image, and likeness is back in the spotlight a bit this week after the final hearing in the $2.8 billion lawsuit against the NCAA was held on Monday. Members of the House Judiciary Committee, the president of the NCAA, and a group of coaches, athletic directors, and student athletes all met for a roundtable discussion on the UW campus today to talk changes in college sports.
Today was a way of getting some more input on those issues so that we can draft something and move forward with the U.S. Senate, hopefully negotiate something with the U.S. Senate so that we're able to get college sports in a better place than it is right now.
Now, if the new terms that allow colleges to directly pay their athletes is approved, they'll go into effect July 1st. Concerns about Title IX inequities and the future of non-revenue sports are still being considered. A man is in court today after police say he sexually assaulted a child. 22-year-old Skylar Clausen was taken into custody Wednesday after police got a tip about a man in possession of child pornography. During the investigation, police allegedly uncovered evidence relating to the sexual assault of a child. Online court records show Clausen faces several charges, including first-degree sexual assault of a child. Today, a judge set Clausen's bond at $300,000. According to the criminal complaint, Clausen allegedly admitted to detectives that he was being investigated in Nevada for child pornography. The investigation started back in March of 2023. He came to Wisconsin in July that same year. Clausen also allegedly admitted to sexually assaulting a child. A preliminary hearing in the case is set for April 22nd. 3 people are arrested after Madison police say a man crashed a stolen vehicle into a garage on the city's west side yesterday. Officers were executing a search warrant on North Midvale Boulevard at the time. And during the search, a 20-year-old man allegedly tried to leave the area in a vehicle that had been reported stolen out of Janesville. That's when he crashed the vehicle into a garage door before running into a family member's apartment. He was arrested for operating a motor vehicle without an owner's consent. Meanwhile, a 45-year-old Madison woman was arrested for charges of violating the conditions of her probation and maintaining a drug dwelling. An 18-year-old man was also taken into custody on a warrant out of Illinois. Madison police are investigating after someone allegedly robbed a woman at knife point. This happened Wednesday morning. Officers responded to East Mifflin Street just after midnight Wednesday. The victim told them someone had stolen $100 from her, but she was hurt but is expected to be okay. No one has yet been arrested. One person dead after a crash that happened in the town of Avon. That's in Rock County. The medical examiner pronounced a 26-year-old Orfordville woman dead at the scene. An adult and 3 children in the car were taken to the hospital for injuries. This happened last night at the intersection of West Skinner at South Moretti Roads. The investigation shows the car left the roadway, collided with a tree. The name of the victim has not been released. The Rock County Sheriff's Office continues its investigation. Well, the sun and warmer temperatures return just in time for the weekend. Here's Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Our first warn forecast from the weather patio.
And a beautiful patio scene it is out here, Eric, right now. Sunny skies, although the sun is starting to get a little bit lower in the horizon. I'm in the shadow, but it feels really good out here. And look at what we have to expect Saturday, 61 degrees. Take note of the wind, south at 5 miles per hour. That's a light breeze. I'm not even going to say the word breeze. That's just light winds overall, and that's a real bonus in early spring. Sunday, 63, chance of some thunderstorms. We'll look at those thunderstorm chances a little bit later in the newscast. Right now, we're up to 54. That's where we said we'd get to in Madison. A lot of 54s out there. We got a 55 Tide, Boscobel, Prairie du Chien, and 53 to the south in Monroe. Here in Dane County, 54s to the east and 55s to the west. So 54 to 55, we're pretty much 1 degree shy of each other all across Dane County. Right now, planning the rest of your evening, skies will eventually start to clear when you join us again for the 10 o'clock newscast. We're still above 40 degrees. What a difference just a day makes just to get a little bit of sun. Overnight temperatures tonight down into the lower 30s. Coming up in Maine weather, we're going to track your farmers market forecast. If I can get my words out there, I think you're really going to like it. And then we're going to take a peek at those Sunday storms and who stands the best chance of getting wet.
All right, Alex, thank you. The rodeo is back in Madison. The Midwest Horse Fair kicked off earlier today. Food, competitions, rides, and much more are all at the Alliant Energy Center. And that's where we find our Tanasia Shaw tonight. Tanasia?
Hi, Eric. I'm so scared of animals right now. As you can see, this llama, look at this, just eating it up. This is Haven's Petting Farm. We got goats, a llama, they're all over me, alpacas, chickens. I'm terrified of birds, by the way. And even a pig, so cute. But this is all, I don't have any more, I'm sorry. But this is all here at the Midwest Horse Fair. OMG, it's so fun. This festival, even if everybody should be a horse person, but even if you're not, there's so much to do. Like this petting farm is an attraction by itself. We also, there also has been cooking demos. And again, the rodeo itself, and that's the main attraction. I would say almost everything is the main attraction. I think I'm the main attraction to these animals right now. But Eric, this is just a sample. I'm gonna have a full report with my friends in a few minutes. So Eric, I'm gonna sit it back to you and I'm gonna get to know these animals better.
I can hear the newsroom reacting to the llamas swarming you there, Tanasia. I think they think the microphone is a cone of food. We'll check back with you shortly. Well, there are several job fairs coming up for folks that have been affected by the Trump administration's mass federal firings. April 15th is the date. There's an engineering job fair. That's 10 to noon. From 1 to 3, there's one for social services. The day after, the Department of Workforce Development hosting a maintenance and mechanical job fair from 10 to noon. It turns into a finance and accounting fair from 1 to 3. Now, all of this information, you can find that as well as the locations on the Department of Workforce Development's Federal Worker Portal, and you can find it at the link there at the bottom of your screen. Well, music fans are gearing up for Record Store Day tomorrow. Vinyl still spins, and since 2008, independently owned record stores around the world have celebrated the day they play in their communities. Record Store Day is typically the third Saturday in April, but that falls on a bank holiday in many countries. So this year's celebration is happening earlier. Record stores around the Madison area will have special deals and events.
We're going to put out 1,000 new used records that haven't been on the floor. A lot of huge titles like original pressings, Metallica records, Radiohead, rare stuff, that doesn't get seen quite commonly.
Mad City Music will be opening its doors tomorrow at 9 a.m., though he says people usually will show up in the middle of the night so they can be first in line. Well, the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, Governor Tony Evers announcing more than $108 million in quarterly payments for road improvements. Those payments are built into the state's biennial budget and are split into 3 categories. General transportation aids pay for building, maintaining, and operating roads in local jurisdictions. Connecting highway aids reimburse municipalities that maintain and control some state highways, and expressway policing aids are set aside specifically for Milwaukee County. That's to help the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office cover the costs of patrolling expressways there in the Milwaukee area. And this quarter, WISC-TV paid out more than $103 million in general transportation aids, over $4 million in connecting highway aids, and more than $255,000 in expressway policing aids. Still ahead on News 3 Now at 6, why a company is warning consumers about some celery sticks, and the Food and Drug Administration announcing changes to its animal testing requirements. We'll be right back.
3 now at 6.
The Food and Drug Administration says it'll phase out a requirement that certain drugs and antibodies be tested on animals. The FDA says it's taking this step because there are testing methods more effective and, quote, human relevant. The agency says one possible replacement for animal testing includes AI-based computer simulations or even lab-grown human organs. A drug can get FDA approval only after researchers show it is safe and effective. Until now, that proof has had to be shown through lab testing, often on animals, before therapies are tested in humans. A pair of endangered peregrine falcons here in Wisconsin are believed to have died from bird flu. We Energies announced the deaths of two of its longest returning peregrine falcons, Bryn and Beasley. Bryn was found dead in a nest box in Port Washington. That's just north of Milwaukee. Bryn's mate for 8 years, Beasley, has not returned to the nest box since a few days after Bryn's death. He is believed to have also died. We Energies and Wisconsin Public Service began installing peregrine falcon nest boxes on power plants back in 1992. And to date, 453 peregrine falcons have hatched at We Energies and WPS facilities. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is claiming a new research effort will find the cause of autism by September. Kennedy made that comment at a cabinet meeting. Here's how he says he'll do it.
We've launched a massive testing and research effort that's going to involve hundreds of scientists from around the world. By September, we will know what has caused the autism epidemic, and we'll be able to eliminate those exposures.
Now, no one knows why autism rates have spiked in the past 25 years, but scientists think much of it is due to a broader definition of the disorder and better detection. They also say genetics and exposure to chemicals may play a role, but most experts don't believe that vaccines do. Now to a recall alert. Due to Fresh Farm Foods is warning consumers that a batch of ready-to-eat celery is at risk of listeria. The advisory covers more than 1,500 cases of 4-pack market-side celery sticks. They were distributed and sold in Walmart stores across multiple states, and that does include here in Wisconsin. All of the potentially affected units are past their expiration dates now and no longer for sale, but some consumers may have frozen them for later use. Consumers who have this product, including those in their freezer, should throw it out. Still ahead, how the price of eggs could impact an Easter tradition. And we head back out to the Midwest Horse Fair with some of the newest events happening this weekend. And is the weather still looking nice for the first farmers market? Alex with a complete forecast when we come back. Oh, may see some rain over the weekend, but what about that first farmers market, Alex?
I got some good news here. All smiles, because Farmers Market Day, I said yesterday, let's track this together, and here we're going to do it. And it's going to be a beautiful one. 30s to start off. A little bit on the cool starter. You might need a jacket or a pair of gloves. By the time you get 10 o'clock, just toss the gloves. We'll be up to about 50 degrees and near 60 by the time we get to the end of the Farmers Market. Light winds, too. That's an extra bonus on your farmers market. We got a few storms, as Eric was mentioned. Some rain is in the forecast, and then turning breezy early as we go out into next week. We'll track those storms here right now. A few scattered showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm as we get towards Sunday, 4 or 5 o'clock or so in the morning. Then we get some dry time. Buddy will be here in the afternoon hours, and we'll keep an eye on this. Not expecting severe weather, but we can't rule out the possibility of some small hail with a few of these storms. But notice they're few and far between, as it looks like at this point in time. Not everybody is going to see these showers and thunderstorms. The actual cold front itself comes through late Sunday night, going on into Monday. Take note, the winds now coming out of the west, strong on Monday, and we will have some gusty winds to deal with on Monday too. Fortunately, not a lot of water with this weather maker, 10 to maybe as much as a quarter of an inch across southern Wisconsin, and that's not going to put too much more of a dent into the drought that still exists. Moderate drought conditions right along the Mississippi River down to Platteville to Monroe. We're making improvement, but we could use some more appreciable amounts of water. And we do have another weather system in the forecast. We got 30s tonight. Skies will clear on out. We'll do 34 in Madison, 33 to the west and to the north, and 37 to the south in Monroe, and 35 in Janesville. Got the gold shades on here because we got a warm-up day as we go on into Saturday. Temperatures up to 61. Then we'll do a 63 in Lone Rock, 62 in Prairie du Chien. So a gorgeous Saturday. And again, the winds on Saturday are going to be light, so that's that extra bonus. Right now, 5-4 in Madison down the road, 55 in Middleton, up the road to the north, 55 in Waukegan to the south. On 12 in Oregon, we've got 54 degrees. So a lot of 54s out there. 53s, 54s, 55s that's where we said we would be for high temperatures today. And as we plan the rest of our evening together, staying in the 50s. And then by the time we get to 8, 9 o'clock, we'll dip into the 40s. Join us again tonight at 10. We'll be at about 43. We'll do 30s tonight overall. Again, as I mentioned, it's going to be a bit on the cool side to start that Saturday morning. But by Sunday, those few thunderstorms, breezy and cooler Monday going on into Tuesday. There's that next weather maker Wednesday going into Thursday. That one looks like a decent or a little bit more water that we could squeeze out of that weather system. So that one could put some additional drops and dent into that drought. And we'll have another update on that drought monitor on Thursday. And as we head towards the end of the upcoming weekend, temperatures climbing into the 60s and perhaps even upper 60s by the very end of the 10-day forecast. But again, tomorrow is looking absolutely stunning for the first farmers market.
You'll love to see it, Alex. Thank you. We're taking another look now at the Midwest Horse Fair, taking over Alliant Energy Center this weekend. Tanisha Shaw joining us once again, and she looks to be safe now from the llamas that were chasing her around a bit ago, and she's here to tell us what is new this year at the Midwest Horse Fair. Tanisha?
Eric, I think you jinxed me because I have some more goods in my pocket. But first, let's get these facts about the fair for anybody who wants to go. So the fair is today until Sunday. The rodeo is today and tomorrow. And then it's so much fun. They said they're expecting about 6,000 people, excuse me for that. About 6,000 people. They said they're expecting even more people because of the celebrity appearances and because of attractions like this that are new. Haven's Petting Farm, having this petting farm here with all of these different animals. Oh my gosh, kind of nervous because I'm about to feed them soon. But there's so much to do here. Like I said, we have the rodeo. Like we said, we have cooking demonstrations, we have petting farms, vendors, over 400 vendors. So, you know, if you need your cowboy boots, hats, anything like that, you can get that here. And of course, like I said, this wonderful petting zoo, and I'm about to pet them again. So bear with me. Kind of scared. Let's do that. They see it a little bit. I'm scared of birds, like so bad. Okay, it's not as hectic this time. This time is actually very cute. Okay, it's my fear. Okay. They're eating, okay? I don't have any more. I'm getting kind of scared, but it's okay. This is fun. You know, for people who are more comfortable with animals, you should pet them. I'm not there yet. I'm gonna get there, Eric. So I'm gonna send it back to you so I can get there. So again, so I can get more familiar with animals. But yeah.
They are definitely getting more familiar with you, Tanisha, and Midwest Horse Fair. Enjoy it this weekend, and we were all waiting in anticipation for when she was going to start feeding those animals, and there they are. Tanisha, thank you. Easter right around the corner, and some holiday traditions may look a little different this year thanks to those egg prices. The average cost of a dozen eggs hit a record $6.23 in March. An increased demand for the holiday means prices may not decline until after Easter. According to Signature Brands, the maker of Pa's Easter egg dyeing and decorating kits, 94% of families who typically decorate eggs do still plan to do so this year.
While not ideal, it's going to cost a little bit more. It's still only about 40 cents per egg. And so people realize that it's still one of the more affordable things you can do with your kids.
And some creative yet cheaper alternatives are spreading on social media, like decorating potatoes or marshmallows. Wallet Hub reports that Americans typically buy 180 million eggs every Easter. Some top chocolatiers are putting their skills to the test for the Easter season. Close to 3 dozen chefs in Belgium created these massive chocolate eggs, some standing nearly 2 feet tall, and they're stealing the spotlight at a hotel in Brussels. Their work inspired by the Art Deco movement, a style that blends nature, curves, and industrial materials. One chef added a futuristic flair with a remote-controlled laser in his masterful creation.
We have a very thin layer of white chocolate, which actually is a little bit translucent, and that makes that the laser comes through, and we can project from the inside of the egg, and we can see it through the cutouts.
That's beautiful work, and all of the pieces on display are up for grabs and valued at more than $700, money that will benefit a local hospital. The Extraordinary exhibition runs through Easter, and we're back after a short break. Finally tonight, last year you might remember Lay's asked the country, what's your $1 million potato chip flavor idea? Well, after more than 700,000 submissions from fans across the country, the 3 finalists have been chosen, and now it's up to the fans to choose which delicious flavor, that might be debatable, will be crowned the winner. The finalist flavors are bacon grilled cheese, Valentina lime, and wavy Korean-style fried chicken. Between April 21st and June 13th, potato chip lovers across the country are all invited to try out those 3 flavors. They'll be available in stores nationwide, and then you can vote for your favorite at dousaflavor.com. Alex is back as it's that time of the year. People start doing stuff outside. Farmers market starting, and it's looking pretty decent.
Looking like a great weekend, Eric. Farmers market, this is going to be a stellar forecast. 61 for high temperature. I think the best part of Saturday, in my opinion, light winds. This whole spring, it's been windy since last fall. It's going to be light winds on Saturday, 61. A couple storms dotting the scene on Sunday at 63. Next chance of rain is the middle part of next week, and that's probably our best chance of rain, middle of next week, but we need the drops, so we'll take them.
We do. Alex, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. Have a great evening. We'll be